All right, so this is the part on stacking, which is really the third part of Proven Power presentations, which is where you talk about your product and you're actually stacking your offer together. So this is where you want to think about 3 to 5 different things for your offer, and here's how it works. Number one is the main thing about stacking is really to show your audience that the 3 to 5 or 7 different modules that you have, the 7 different components, what you are offering, and you're stacking it together, and that your offer or the value you're providing is actually increasing. It's constantly increasing. Here's what I'm talking about. One of the things you want to do now is to really introduce your product or your program. So let's say you're offering a product on Forex investing. So it could be Forex investing intensive. So one of the things I offer in Forex investing intensive is these 7 components. Component number 1, you'll be able to come for a live event whereby so there's an image of the live event that says Forex Investing Intensive Live. And this is value add amount, right? So what you're doing is you're showing them component 1 and then you are showing them the value. Then you move on to component number 2. So it's 1 slide per component. Component number 2, the next thing you'll be getting is you'll be having our Forex analysis tools. The same tools that you use online to analyze what type of trade to move into next. This is something that's of a $2,997 value, taking the entire offer to a $5,000 value. Then you move on to item number 3. So item number 3, a slide on its own again. The next thing that you'll be able to get is you'll be able to be part of our Forex Mastermind, where we connect all of our students together so that you can motivate one another and share your success stories. This is something that's so important because your net worth, is determined by your network. So notice what I'm doing here. All I'm doing is I'm talking about the individual components that I'm offering in my product, program, or service, and I'm stacking it. So item number 1, value. Item number 2, total value. Item number 3, total value of item 1, 2, 3. So it's constantly increasing, right? And once that is done, here's the next thing you do. Every time you are talking about these different components, again, I want to share with you the thing that separates legendary and the average. In the earlier modules, I talked about the 4 levels of persuasion. The have, the feel, the average day, and the status. Remember that? And I asked you to list it out. So this is where I'd like you to take out that sheet again and look at it. Why? Because every time you talk about these different components, you want to think about drilling down so that you're not just talking about the have, you're not just focusing on the feel, which is really important. You talk about the average day and how it changes their status. So those 4 things. Think about how each of these different components changes their have, the feel, the average day, and finally the status. That is where you want to really place most emphasis on. Finally, once you reveal all 3 components, 5 components, or 7 components, do you actually reveal the price? So you're going to reveal the price and you say that your investment for this program is not the $58,000 because that's the stack, right? You've built up the value, but only $19.97 or $497 or $97, right? You reveal the price and then you ask them this one question, which is, if all this did was result, would that be worth it? If all this did was to give you an 18% return on Forex, would that be worth it? If all this did was to enable you to work from home and do Forex as a real business and while taking care of your family and your kids, would that be worth it? Right? So if all this did was result, would that be worth it? So the doing. So it's all about the doing. Now that you've understood this, it's about putting it into place, right? So what you need to do right now is, again, download the template, the script, fill in the blanks. You've already understood all these different things. And by the end of this section, it means that you have written down your script, follow the script that we've given you now that you understand the different layers in the stack. And only when you've done this will we move on to the last section, which is really the close. So go ahead and do that right now. And once that's done, you may move on to the next video.